Dan Perry here with another C++ video for Dan on Tech. In this video we're going to continue looking at input-output, specifically input with the cin statement. And in the last video we looked a little bit at the cin statement and how we could enter integers or characters. We could do the same with numbers. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at one additional input with cin, and that's a string input. Now when we talked about variables, we did not talk about the string variable. The strings are an array or a group of characters, and in order to use strings in C++, they have a string function. Well, there's a couple of ways. You could do it the older way we did in the original C, where we actually created arrays. We've not talked about arrays yet, but created an array or a group of characters and stored the string in it. But they do have a set of string functions, and so if we add another include statement, include the string header, the string file, so it's #include and then string between the brackets, we now have access to the string functions and so some additional functionality. So let me scroll this up now, and I'm going to go ahead and replace the variables we had in the last example with a variable of data type string. So if I come in here and I type string, and let's call it S, I could give it a starting value, but I'm not going to. Give it a value of S, and then let me change this C out to enter a string. And I guess to be more grammatically correct, it should be a, not an. And then cin of an S. Well, we'll want to output that S variable now. So let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. And after it compiles, it's going to run. And when it runs, it's asking me to enter a string, just what this cout statement said. So I'm going to say hello, and when I press enter, now it placed hello in that string variable S, and then in the cout statement it output the value of S, so S equals the string. Now let's do that again. Let me run it. And when I run it this time, again, it asked me for a string. And I said a string was a group of characters, so I could type whatever I want. So here is another string. And enter. And it only shows here. Doesn't show the whole string, says here. Well, here's what's happening. With the cin function, the cin sees either a space bar or an enter as a delimiter saying that's the end of your input. So when I hit the space between here and is, then what C++ said was, okay, you've hit a space bar at this point. Well, that's all the string. So all it placed in the string S was the letter S. Was the word here. So in the variable S, that. Now, right now, the rest of it's actually stored in the buffer waiting to be processed, which could cause problems with the next data entry you might have. We'll see how to take care of that in a little bit. So for now, let's go ahead and end this video, and in the next video we're going to look at another function to allow us to enter string data so we don't lose that information. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube playlist.